No, I want to play. I'm not afraid. I'll play anybody.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping.
Screw it. If you're gonna pick me, I'll play.
That's a big upgrade now for the Widow Mines.
Yeah,
be able to start targeting them down. Get out of there.
Yeah. Did only get 4 stalkers here though. He will pick some of these up. Nice.
That was beautiful. Able to bait the mine shot onto most of those Marines there. Leaves them so weak the stalkers are able to clean the rest up. Look at that warping.
GG.
An army supply to 27. That'll do it.
All right, Jon Snow, who do you pick as your challenge?
Can I pick picking twice in a row?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can pick whoever you want.
Sure
I'm
can.
going for creatures, I mean,
Alright. See, that's what I'm thinking. Just be rational.
Hey, that's fine. Giving creature more chances to win money. That's all.
Yeah. Exactly.
Let's put creature in here.
Yeah. Let's see if he decides to deflect this time or if he's going to accept the challenge again.
All right, so Jon Snow has challenged you. Do you reflect, or do you take this challenge?
You know what? I think I'll reflect this one. Since I don't want to lose all my lives like right away.
I'm the
So.
easiest money you can get here, dog. I don't know.
You're supposed to trash talk the other guy, not
No,
yourself.
I just
doing
want
it
to
back.
chill for a little bit. I don't want to be.
All right. Who you're going to deflect him to?
Am I allowed to say MaSa?
You choose
You
whoever
can
you
pick
want.
whoever you want.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because you chose me, you get to play MaSa. Okay.
All right. Fair enough. How do you feel about this?
I just think he wants Jon Snow to lose.
There he's doing battle cruisers.
Aha.
Fusion core on the way. Everybody do your fusion core, Dan. Well, Jon Snow's just struggling to hold on to his 3.
And there comes the second one, jumping in to the main, getting more done. The Queen's not even really trying to fight back here.
A ball of corruptors out.
Yeah. He may go after the Spore before it gets up again.
And, Jon Snow heavily supply blocked. Army supply way down. Worker count is even falling below the average here that he would like. But yeah, I think this might just be it. MaSa seems unstoppable.
A lot of them. There are 10 there. Oh, one battle cruiser actually dying. He's kind of being aggressive with this. Jump away at the last second. Yamato going off and another jump away.
19 dead drones here. 83 workers to 38. Army supply a little bit in MaSa's favor, but that's going to be just too much. GG.
I mean, that was a long time ago. Maybe like 6 years already.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of gonna go in there as a fighter, not as someone that has a rival, but just a free spirit.
You are so poetic, puCK. That's why you're so awesome. Who will you pick? Who's your choice?
Well, I'm looking towards the future, and I want to really be a part of the future. So I might as well just battle the future now.
You've been chosen, future. You've been chosen. Do you accept the challenge or do you reflect it?
I'm gonna reflect.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
We're not gonna have any reflex going into day 2.
That's not the case.
Oh, big Oracle run by, yeah, a little bit of a mass Oracle strategy. They're able to take down 1, now 2 Spore Crawlers. Queens melt in a blink of an eye there. Now drone's also going to start to fall. Oh my goodness, what a powerful attack.
Roach counterattack here at the 3rd is certainly putting in a lot here too. 9 probes, but nowhere near the 23 drones still on the way. Gonna see what he intended there, but it's a lot later for this now.
Indeed. Nice high ground advantage for the Stalkers will help out a lot.
Yeah, there's not a huge force here at all.
Ooh, and with those faster Tempests, he's able to dodge a lot of these bios. He's got a very mobile army with those Stalkers and the Tempest and the Stasis Wards. are now starting to do a really good job at just controlling the zone here. Ooh, this might be a little bit of an overextension. Oh, there
that's
it
a
is.
huge one.
Oh.
Huge one
Love
here,
it.
really picking the RV apart.
I'm a big fan of Stasis Wars. That's one of my favorite tools in the Protoss arsenal, especially against Zerg. It can just really help to zone control, stop run-bys, and there it is, GG puck.
All right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to day 2 of Kings of the North Suupa Tournament. You know, I don't even know if I can give you the rundown, but I will anyways. This is the Kings of the North Invitational Tournament. We're down to 5 players, and in their seeding order, each player will be able to choose who they want to challenge to a best-of-3 match. And when all the players lose all 3 of their lives, they're out of the tournament. Each player gets 1 reflect. If they haven't used it in day 1, they still have that reflect, but they can only use it once. If you can't reflect, another reflect. All right, guys, I am your host, Reckon, and I am joined with my amazing commentators, Andy Man and Endersword. We're back, boys. We're back.
Yeah.
What are we feeling now from day 5? Day 5. I mean, sorry, not day 2.
Day
with
5.
5 players.
Good lord.
Is that right?
I blacked out some of those.
Well, it's Christmas time. This is the perfect time to black out.
That is pretty good. Tonight was the night of my office Christmas party. After this, I'm going back out for sure.
Well,
I'm feeling good about this. I think the first day was pretty good. We saw some crazy games from like our underdog player Creature. He actually took a map off MaSa, which is really good, and showed some really good high quality stuff. And we got this chalk of a lifetime that Jon Snow went down 2 lives in the first day. So pretty good strategic use of the reflex and the picking and stuff like that.
Yeah, you got some sweet Reddit karma from my clip there.
Yeah, I totally snatched that up. You posted the clip, and I was like, "This is a really cool clip." And I threw it in there, and like people loved it. They loved it. Right?
It was some fancy micro. It was a lot of fun.
I totally had missed it too. I didn't even see it live, but it made a really good highlight. That's for sure. Creatures grew to teleport into the War Prism. It was really good, and Creature did a lot. Like for his pick against MaSa, he did pretty good. I think he was the only one really to take a game off of him the whole night.
Yeah, I think he was. It was the only map taken.
Yeah. So, what are we looking at in terms of the players we have left and what to expect?
So I think we got. Do we want to address the missing?
Yeah, sure. Like
individual.
let's bring it up right now.
So we do have a situation where unfortunately Jon Snow, who's down to 1 life, was unable to attend tonight. So he's going to forfeit that last life, unfortunately. So he is also going to be knocked out. So we're really down to 4.
And we can figure out what happens in that last life.
Yeah, we got to see where to go. We had brainstorming a few ideas, but basically we've got a couple people running on full health, full everything, like full deflects, whatever. Why
don't we pull up the full? Let's pull up the player screen
the
right now. We'll throw up the player screen and let people see what's the overall situation.
So obviously the dominant one here so far, MaSa, all 3 lives remaining, still his reflect remaining. He kind of got, again, dropped 1 map to Creature. Other than that, pretty dominant throughout. He's also been on a bit of a tear. If anyone watched over the weekend, he won the WESG Canada qualifier over Scarlet in a 3-1 victory in a best-of-5. So he's just kind of rolling. And if anyone watched this over the weekend, he's also just kind of memeing. He can do whatever.
Doing a bit of both. Battle cruisers.
Exactly. Battle cruise, like in 1 game, mass battle cruiser. In the next game, nothing but Marines. Like just doing whatever. And it seems to be working for him now. So he's got to be feeling pretty good. But we've seen some like tricky, like picking, deflecting, whatever out of like Silky in this stuff. And and puCK a
Future.
little playing mind games, Future playing like so. They're all kind of, I think puCK, Future, and Silky are kind of probably looking at each other, being like, how do I knock each of these guys out so that it's me in the end?
And right now, Future's the only one without his reflect. Everyone else has lost a reflect. I mean, everyone still has a reflect except Future.
Yeah. Exactly.
And Future uses reflect for a strategic move into Jon Snow. So
yeah,
I like there was a lot of let's not pick on creature talk, but looking at that, it
Yeah.
looks like everybody kind of picked on creature.
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, there was some strategic pick on, like there was almost like the viewing of creature as a resource, which we said last week, which is like you kind of have players assume that a match against creature was a free win, so people were trying to like conserve how that would work.
Yeah, creature was almost he was a
Yeah.
resource to be
Yeah.
used in the game for the rest of the players, and he was reflected to or preserved
Yeah.
for future games, and that was actually really interesting to see. To
Because
see
he let, and creatures playing of it too was interesting because he let MaSa picked him first and he allowed it, but then he just played MaSa and he actually did pretty well, so it was probably a good choice to do it. He didn't win, but it was 2-1, which is better than anyone would really think. And then followed up by a Jon Snow pick on creature, but then creature deflected him into puCK. I want to say that's what it was, right? Or
Yeah.
no, into MaSa.
Oh yeah.
Into MaSa directly, and then MaSa beat Jon Snow. Then puCK picked, I forget now, but anyway, at some point puCK picked Future. Future deflected. No, Future used his deflect to put him back into Jon Snow.
Yep.
puCK won that one. Then, it was
It was a little
pretty.
madness. It
Yeah,
was-
exactly. It was all kinds of craziness going on.
and then we had Silky go up against Future, and then
Silky
Future.
go up against Future, yeah, and whatever, and then ultimately Creature had to pick his own doom at the end. Like he had one life left, and they're like, pick one of these players that's better than you. sorry, Adam.
Well, and that's how it ended up going. Thoughts, Andy Man?
He summed it up pretty well. I'm just ready. I'm excited for today. I'm
Yeah.
really excited to see what these guys are going to bring. Again, we saw him pick on Creature a little bit, but Creature gave us some awesome games. That was so much fun to watch. And then Jon Snow, unfortunately, can't be here. I was excited to watch him play today. They were all kind of talking about, I think, going after him again.
So we have MaSa first. So MaSa's going to be first. What do you guys predict is his plan?
The most
Win.
predictable, obviously win. I don't think he's particularly going to be scared of anyone, but his most reliable plan is to pick Future simply because, well, two reasons. Future has one less life. Everyone else is full, but also Future does not have his deflect. And so
He's vulnerable.
if you pick Future, you're playing Future. If you pick puCK or Silky, you don't know who you're going to play. It's quite possible, although you can metagame that too and say, as MaSa, I'm going to pick Silky, knowing he'll deflect me into Future. Like you could do it that way and make him use it. Yeah.
Those guys are at full health, so they're going to be able to really control it today. Kind of which way the games are going to go. It's
They can make that risk. They can take that risk.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Well,
Future definitely on the back foot here out of everybody, I'd say.
Which
But
is
in terms
cute to
of-
see.
Yeah, exactly. And like out of their, like right now, I'd say those three guys, like Silky, Future, and puCK, reasonably within the same skill band. Like you're not going to say that any of these guys is a strong underdog against the others. Like we've got a pretty strong, like anyone could win those matches. It's just going to come down to who it is today.
So we're saying that Future right now is the wounded animal in terms
Yeah,
of.
that's more the case. He's just the weakest.
Careful of a wounded animal, though.
That's
Yeah.
true.
But he's not like the player that's the weakest or anything.
Right. All right. So we're gonna bring in MaSa here, who is posing as Tasia in the chat. But let's bring in
course
MaSa. MaSa. Unmute yourself and let us know what you're going to do.
So
Yo. All right, MaSa, how you feeling? You're here for you're back for day 2. You like money, so you're just gonna choose. I imagine you're gonna choose something that is gonna get you those monies. What's your choice?
yeah, but when it's 2 wins, it's like same as a lot of other people. No,
Pardon?
Huh?
What?
I've only gotten 2 wins.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
and I believe Silky and puCK both the 2 wins as well.
Yes.
Sounds right. Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I
Yep.
hope I get more wins today.
All right. Well, let's go.
So who are you gonna pick on?
Who should I pick? I'm just gonna RNG this.
Okay. That's a strategy too.
Random number
How you do? Oh, you're doing a random number. Like, how are you RNGing this? Are you putting one's name in a hat?
1 to 3. So 1 is gonna be puCK, 2 is gonna be Silky, 3 is gonna be Future.
Alright.
Hey, it works.
All right.
1
What
to
did you
3
pull?
Generate number. Once I pick puCK.
Let's pull him in here.
He's writing a whole Python code for this.
Let's bring puCK. Production, can you call puCK into the chat or into the screen? All right, so you picked puCK. Protoss. Boys, do you guys think puCK's gonna play it out, or do you think he's going to reflect it?
I think he might
I don't
take
think
it.
he's scared of me.
You think he'll be scared?
He won't be scared of
He
me.
won't be scared. Yeah.
Oh.
It feels early. Like with 3 lives left, you might want to keep it.
The reflect?
Yeah. Just because it's a slightly intimidation thing that.
Yeah, again, there's
someone-
strategy in holding on to that reflect till later.
Yeah.
And all these guys at full lives, so not as huge of a risk, I think, in this
It's
first.
like a nuclear weapon. Like if you don't have, you like to having one itself is a deterrent, and is a deterrent.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm curious to see. I would like to see if puCK did reflect it. Where do you think he would reflect it into?
Future, probably.
Oh, well.
Make him play it.
Yeah, I would think it's gonna be Silky because he also has 3 lives.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's unavoidable. Yeah, so to make himself the second.
Yeah, that would be. And then, if you were to go up against Silky MaSa, what would be your plan? What would be your plan?
My
Tell us.
plan, I have no
Tell us
idea.
what's your plan.
Like this map pool is freaking horrible for Terran.
You seem to be doing okay with it so far, though.
Nah, not really. I think I only beat Sasha on the weekend because it was old map pool.
Was the old
This
man.
map pool is
Oh
heavily
yeah,
dirty.
yeah.
I think you beat Sasha because you did fucking nonsense.
That's true.
It was the BCs. The BCs got her. Also,
Yeah,
you also only beat her because you knew you both qualified. that was a
Maybe
mix
if
of
I'm going like 3cc macro game, I would have gotten stomped.
God, that's
Oh.
loud. What the fuck?
clever. There he is. Okay, we
There
got
he is.
puCK in here now.
There was a doorbell.
All right.
Like for your house or for getting into?
It's getting into Zoom.
Yeah.
I guess I'm ringing your doorbell, but it's going.
Oh
outside
yes,
the-
it goes.
It's
Yeah.
super loud.
It was making us letting you know that you were here.
Well, welcome in, puCK. Are you ready to go up against Tasia? I'm sorry, not Tasia.
Basically, Deja.
Awesome.
Yeah, why not?
Are you gonna take the challenge? Or are you gonna reflect?
It's potentially more money, so yeah, why not?
There you
All
go.
right, all right.
That's the spirit.
I love it. I love when a plan comes together. All right. So, anything you guys have left to say? Oh, we have to do vetoes, but
Nah,
what do you just
yeah.
let's do vetoes right now. Let's do
Not
vetoes.
joking.
Okay.
Believe
Uh,
MaSa first, right?
Yeah, MaSa higher seed.
I veto stasis.
I think you're always gonna veto parasite.
Oh yeah, but I can veto it next.
That's
Okay.
true. That's true.
Beetle blue shift.
Yeah, Parasite.
Second, I think we were doing A, B, B, A.
Cerulean.
Yeah,
I do too. Okay. So
Okay.
Stasis, Blue Shift, Cerulean, and Parasite.
And that leaves
Yeah.
I should have the map.
Okay.
I'm gonna post the maps just in case.
Wait, so puck picks
Yeah, puck picks picks
that
first.
number 1.
What's up?
You pick the first map.
Oh,
ABBABAC.
okay. Is it best of 3?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're already picking maps. What were the vetoes?
You did them.
Vetoed.
I feel like you did them. Stasis.
Blacked out for a second.
Yeah.
Okay, we vetoed.
Blue Shift, Cerulean Falls, and Parasite of Time.
Okay.
Because
Got
I
it.
didn't say perfect, but they already knew that I was gonna veto it.
Let's do Automaton first.
Yeah.
I like that.
What's left? Pyros and Port, right?
Huh?
Fuck these maps.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Port out,
Kyros
Gander.
and Gander.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go Pyros.
All right.
And
Do this thing. Do you have any last words to taunt each other or instill fear? Or
Well, I mean, they won't be last words because I hope to see MaSa again.
that's true.
I'd hate to have this game be our goodbye.
I think chances are good you two will face each other at least one more time.
Probably. That is probably very true. Yeah. And he's around.
All right, guys, don't forget to join into the channel on StarCraft so that the admins can add you to the game.
Yeah,
But
I'm ready, buddy.
all right, perfect. All right, boys and girls, you guys just jump out and we will see you in game.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
All right.
Right, there you go. So challenged. So he goes randomly, but he goes against the number. I guess what is the remaining
Recognized.
number 2 seeded player.
Why can I still hear them?
I think you're here. You're still here. Yeah.
Still gotta
You
leave.
can just stay if you want.
You
We'll
can
help,
say if you just
Okay,
mute
okay.
it. Yeah,
we'll
if you
help
mute
you.
it.
Okay, see you.
Oh.
I'll tell you, even without being able to hear us, he's gonna. I was gonna say he's gonna proxy, but I think it's more he's gonna do something weird. Like we know that. Mouse is still in here, just muted for sure.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah.
probably should kick him out too. Just
We should kick him out because, like,
Casting.
yeah, that's true.
Get out of here, Tasia.
He won't. But yeah,
Yeah, just remove MaSa.
His name is Tasia in our thing, in case
Yeah.
anybody was confused by that.
that's what he's
Oh.
doing. He
All
did
right,
that
boys.
last week too. He was innovation.
Let's take a look at some. Let's take a look at some stats while we wait for the game to get started.
Right.
Production.
Ledges and a lot of open space for drop ships and things like that. Colossus if Protoss if they go for Colossus or things like that. They're big ground armies that can kind of get a little caught up on this map.
Mhm. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me too. I think it's kind of leans in that direction, but it's not like crazy. Like it's not like a stasis where it's really choking you to death. It's a normalish map, but it is Terran. I think a little Terran-y. Even though MaSa did say, you know, this map pool he would lose on, whatever. That's just him.
MaSa, is he gonna do cheesy things? What do you think?
He might. It's one way to control the game. So like, if you don't know what, I feel like in any of the instances, Terran can take the initiative, and if you take the initiative, you take away your opponent's ability to surprise you. So you can be the driver, and they can't really pull off their cheese because your cheese is always going to hit first. Like that feels like it's the way it is. So him taking the initiative limits a lot of surprises. Whereas if he pulls back then and doesn't do something super early, then you can potentially get into a late game that you're unfamiliar with. Because I don't think anyone at this point, like in a lot of games that I've seen in the past couple of weeks, I don't think anyone is really aware what the Protoss end game looks like yet.
Yeah.
Like nobody knows what that really is. Like people are playing with Tempests. And
isn't it just Tempests?
It is, but nobody. What the fuck are Tempests? Like they're Vikings right now. They're weird.
They have evolved into fighter jets.
They're totally a different thing.
So I feel like that's where we are right now, where instead of carriers, we are seeing Tempests, right?
All right, I'm going to bring puCK in. Yeah, exactly. So carriers, less reliable. Now, they're not as nerfed as they were originally nerfed. They're not that bad, but they're...
Carriers or Tempests?
But they're bad. The carriers.
Oh,
like
okay.
The original announcement of a nerf for carriers was just... It might as well have just said, we're effectively removing carriers from the game. They toned that down a fair bit, but yeah, they're still not good. Like you're not.
I haven't seen carriers do a lot of anything as of late.
Yeah.
Occasionally they've done okay with a bigger army around it, and they can kind of do a little extra damage here or there. But I think that's all they were ever intended to be, though. They're support units. They're not meant to be this.
Well, they're capital ships
and go right. But capital ships still have their weaknesses, technically.
Right.
They're supposed to be weak to small stub fighters.
Yeah, exactly.
That's more of a Star Wars thing, but it works. But yeah, carriers with it should be something like carrier with a ground army of Immortal Archon underneath it or something like that. But I don't know. But definitely with the Tempest with them, you could support a few carriers and poke. I don't know. It's a whole thing. But Tempests melt super quick too, though.
Well, I don't think the Tempests are even. Yeah, they're not even that much better or more viable. They're still fragile. They're still, but it's just nice to be able to have them stick with your army much better. They're no longer this thing you have to use, almost like broodlords. It was very slow, and you had to kind of pivot around it and make sure you're keeping it.
So just before we jump into the game, boys, I just want to remind everybody that if you use the go to ESChamp.com/support. And put in the coupon code Suupa. You can add yourself a free $1 to the prize pool. So I don't know why I just typed Suupa in the chat, but that was not correct.
It's a word.
Exclamation matching,
You didn't even spell it right.
So I know, right?
There are two P's in your Super. There's really two U's.
Oh my god! So yeah,
that's it. All right, so here. Can they see the game yet? Because MaSa, of course, is proxying something already. So let's do the introductions quick. We get down here on the bottom left-hand corner of the map. It is Automaton. It is paused. We have a very static still MaSa.
Freeze frame. That was my.
Has anyone ever thought it's like... It's like 2 years past the meme, but has anyone ever thought to play like the song Black Beatles during a pause in a game?
I don't get it.
No, it's an old meme where people would freeze. But yeah, all right.
You lost me. Sorry.
Look up the internet in 2015 or 16. You'll figure it out.
All right. I mean, I was there. I was on the internet.
So,
Anyway,
yeah, go ahead.
in the top right there, getting proxied. He is our blue Protoss player hailing from Root Gaming. Give it up for puCK.
And the first Reaper is on the way out. The SCV is going to go scout up top to try and simulate a semi-normal timing and not cause alarm, but there's not much you can do. There's no Zealot on the way or anything here. So he is going to throw down a Nexus and the Cyber Core and wait for that with the Reaper. What? It's because
he's probably mine does that every now and then, and you have to alt tab out, and
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it sometimes breaks that wall.
I could tell him how to fix it, but I'm an observer. Might have just
should have been rough. I think it's because he's tabbing out.
Oh yeah.
He must be playing on full screen mode, and so when he tabs out, it lags you for 3 seconds.
Gotcha.
That's it. Good
Fun stuff. Well, this game will be underway very shortly, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. If you're just tuning in, this is the Kings of the North Suupa Tournament Day 2.
It is indeed. And battling for lives, here are these two players. Battling his own Windows setup is puCK. And hopefully this goes. Now, if we had to whatever remake, I guess we can resume if he had to like reload the client or something like that, because you do have to be able to scroll to the right, I feel.
Oh yeah, if you can't move your that's like playing with half your hand tied behind your back or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just a few fingers though, not all of them. Just
especially, and when it doesn't do it, I'm assuming that he's got like a multi-screen setup, and when it can't scroll to the right, it usually breaks the window completely and just ends up on your like browser or something, which is really, really annoying. But usually a tab in and out does it.
Yeah, we need to make sure we get an admin in here so we can communicate with them.
Yeah, we should wrap it up next time.
Admin.
Yeah, ref.
You know what I meant.
Yeah, exactly. The Reaper coming in here now is going to start getting some probe kills here. A little damage on the Reaper as one goes down. He's going to try and maximize this. The Adept is being thrown out. Enough damage here that like one shot may help out. Yeah, there we go.
And with 3 probes, that's not bad for one Reaper. It's a decent grade. And the second one about to pop out, and it's right here.
He's going to dance around, pop up what the Adept is, and we'll have to back out. It's good positioning.
Yeah, those boxes do make it kind of hard for the Reaper to find an opening. It does limit his... Oh, they trade places. What a juke. The Reaper gets up onto the high ground, able to go for more probes here now. Stalker's going to be able to shut this down though before he can get any kills, I think.
Will he dive for the last one?
Oh, he gets one.
Let's get the one and then goes down. Another one's still coming. He's being pretty bold with this. But he'll run this one away. Wise to do. Wise to do. Now the follow-up to this is, of course, the Cyclone with the upgrade coming up at a different proxy location.
You never see the double proxy coming like this. Against MaSa, I think you kind of have to assume something like this is going down at this point. Because he cheesed a lot last game, but this is...
That's definitely true. Now, this is nice. The Adept that was coming across, got to see the 3 SPVs going across to that. He's got to know what this is now and knows that those are coming to repair a Cyclone. The question is, does he have enough time to really respond to it, as there's no like shield batteries or anything up?
He did pull a few probes that were down on the low ground back up.
That's very good.
That was nice. The Robo Bay is done. I'm sorry, Robo Facility is done. So if he can get an Immortal out, he might be able to hold this just fine. But it's going to be a long time until that Immortal's out.
Yeah, for sure. The bunker here, I mean, helpful, but the most it could do is put a Reaper in it. There's not a lot. The SCV building depth did fall. One of the others will complete it. It's going after it. This Adept on the other side is trying to take down one of these depots, but he's really not going to get through in time. They're just not going to.
Man, I love this, flying the barracks up into the high ground to just kind of rally Marines. It's not, going to kill all the probe line, but it's annoying. It's pulling puCK's attention. It's pulling a Stalker back. All these things. The Immortal's out now, though, with the full probes around. He is looking to shut this down hard. He does get the Reaper that's inside and is pretty much scared this away, I think.
Yeah, there are so 3 cyclones, but with the immortal here, 2 of the stalkers did fall on that. The nexus is very, very low. He may just die for it.
Oh, he's gonna get caught as well. He's coming back in with the cyclones. The immortal gets gunned down, and as the stalker falls, that's gonna be it.
Yeah, once that did fall, there's no way he could save the nexus there anyway.
Yeah.
And he was already 10 workers down there as well. So there you go.
There you go.
Yeah, easy peasy there a little bit. You always know when a MaSa does do a proxy of some kind, there's a follow-up to it. It's never just a punch. It's always like a 1, 2, 3 combo thing. Like there's always more.
Yeah.
Always more coming in.
Always more.
Yeah. So good exploitation of the older cyclone coming back, as it does pretty well in those cases. And
All
it's
right,
gonna
so we're
put, gonna put puck on the back foot for the next game. One of MaSa's biggest things that always goes in his favor is he makes his opponents paranoid as hell. Like they always know that there's something out there. They always know that like something's going to come. They end up spending resources just looking for that thing.
Mhm.
I've seen it as far back as like years ago. He once in like a finals made Desero pull 3 probes to try and look for a proxy that didn't happen.
It was just all mine.
Like it was just mind game stuff. He kind of did it over the weekend against Scarlet. He got her so convinced that a proxy was going to happen that she would routinely not send her second overlord across the map, but instead send it to look for a proxy. And then he exploited the gap left by that overlord.
That's it. Yeah, it's smart.
Like you've got to play into it. And I could easily see him in this upcoming game do something like a proxy, but in his own base. Which he's done time and time again as well. You hide something in your natural, your third, make it seem like it's a proxy, but really you're doing a normal build.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a one you see the best players are the ones who are kind of able to not read their opponent necessarily, but they know how to play into their opponent. They're not just playing the standard, oh, he's going this, I got to do this. He's doing that.
Exactly.
You got to try to get your opponent to do things that they might not want to do that will help you out, kind of like you were saying in that scenario.
I'm playing your game.
Yeah, and play your game.
Yeah, you can so easily, like, especially as a Terran, you can so easily rob a opponent of their initiative so that they're just playing responsive and they don't get to do what they do until they feel safe.
Yep. Very nice. All right. Well,
we are going here on Kairos Junction, ladder edition. Up here on the top left-hand side of the map, we have our blue Protoss player representing Team Root, which just made some acquisition of Jake, no regret, which is excellent.
And Gosu PvP.
Yeah, that's true too. And so anyway, this is puCK. He's been on the team like 4 different times or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, and also now in the top left corner as well, but his base is down at the bottom right. Our red Terran player just needs 1 more to get another $25 in his pocket. He is MaSa.
Now this is great. That pylon on the high ground was actually close enough to see the barracks.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so he just straight up saw this. Now the positioning is so good that the SCV may still finish the damn thing.
Oh, no, the probe's going to get in there. He's trying to keep it alive.
He's trying to get it. No, he will get it down, and that will be a failure. He didn't start another one at home, and I think he's going to, I don't know what he's going to do. He's just going to send this out to go finish it.
It's kind of all you can do. You know, he does have some time. The probes aren't going to be able to damage that super quickly, but if the Zealot gets out, I think the Zealot should be able to kill any Marines that are even able to pop out, but it's already getting really low. I think he's just trying to finish it so he has it and can lift it and go over.
Yeah, exactly. There goes. This is the ballsiest response. So he makes the second barracks late and immediately starts a command center. That's the way to go. That's the way to play.
He does have a second barracks down there in his...
Yeah, he made it in the bottom here. There's probes coming across the map too, supporting the Zealot. He did go for that pylon block off here But he let it, but it's finished, so it actually doesn't.
I know
actually
it blocks
does
him out. That's a little unfortunate. I do like the idea though, pulling the probes. It obviously doesn't work out, so now it's just going to hurt puCK a little bit more.
Yeah.
But it's a nice idea, you know. You realize, hey, I just shut this down. If he didn't have another barracks at home, I'm going to do some damage. But you know, thankfully, MaSa had the foresight to throw that second one down.
Yeah.
Things will continue on here. Oh, another block. Engineer Bay goes to block. Not a lot of help on it though, so it should get cleaned up pretty easily.
Yeah, it should. The Adept already working on that. The Zilla, he moved across the map, so it wasn't immediately there, but that will get canceled. And going down, a robo facility immediately following as well. And MaSa, as he often does, his first instinct when something fails is to macro his way out of it.
Yeah, we saw that last week when he got really far behind and tried to get that third command center to catch back up. Obviously, that one was late, but you know, if you can get away with it, that's how you get back in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good way to go, especially if you feel that something is going to buy you a tiny bit of time, like your opponent hasn't quite committed to making a kill attack against you, and if you survive it, you're going to put yourself back in the lead. This Stalker Zealot Adept army come up, take a poke again, but will back away and get recalled.
Wow, that one Reaper's going to pull everything back home. I thought he was going to be able to, because there was nothing else behind that wall as far as I saw. A Cyclone coming out shortly, so he would have had to have left eventually, but could have maybe gotten an SCP or a little bit of damage.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the Reaper just kind of poking in, does his job, and goes back home. That's really all he was designed to do. He was going to cause some havoc. And MaSa ultimately, again, after this, gets his command center actually planted in place before the Nexus is actually finished. Bunker up front for safety. Of course, he does know he's still in a slightly catch-up mode, but it's not really too bad.
I like this early Robo Bay out of our Protoss here.
Yeah.
What do you think he's going for? Colossus or Disruptor? I'm thinking.
I feel Disruptor for puCK too. It's more disruptive, basically. The Colossus is still a little fragile. It's not. The Colossus is better, I think, when you're dealing with slightly bigger armies and stuff. But yeah, I think Disruptor is going to make it really hard to attack into him.
Oh, maybe he's going straight for the Warp Prism speed, actually.
Okay.
Boost.
That's interesting, too. Good, interesting choice. Good choice, maybe.
Well, I was going to say getting the Disruptors would be good against the Widow Mines that are coming out. I personally think they're much better than a lot of alternatives that the Protoss has, because, you know, Widow Mines are stationary, and you know right where it is. Send a Disruptor shot at it, plant it, and boom, it's not going to be able to run away.
Yeah, absolutely true. And we will have that medevac moving out across the map, making its way towards the natural. And 2 Immortals load into this Warp Prism. Could definitely get some work done. There is the bunker up front. There's just a single Cyclone out. Yeah, that could be interesting. The drop comes in with the Widow Mine into the natural. Good quick reaction. Pulling those probes. 1 will go into the main here to try and catch things. Not as quick, but we'll still get away, and this one will maybe get a kill.
Oh, no. It doesn't, because the probes are going in. They're hiding in the assimilator, and the shot will go. That's great.
Exactly. The Widow Mines here kind of replanting and planting. They don't really want to waste themselves, but they're also going to get wasted.
Wow, look at that big Immortal micro. Oh, real quick, the Immortals have fallen very low, but against that amount of Marines, they stuck around for quite some time there. I'm curious how many kills they both got. We'll check out once they unload here.
We've got 3 and 4, so 7 in total. Pretty good. Nice. Denied. Very close.
That's a big pick off, because now the Protoss Gateway Army is going to be a little bit more viable. The Colossus that are coming out as well are going to be able to take these non-stim Marines. There's no combat shield either. That's going to slow the combat shield down too, because now he's got to get stim.
Yeah, for sure. It kind of throws everything off. Working on that now. Yeah, it really does just throw off a lot of what the Warp Prism is doing. I like the medevac there, just pure intimidation. was chasing the warp prism, but there's nothing in it.
Well, let's keep tabs on it too a little bit. So
Yeah,
he
a little bit.
send forces. Hey, good harass out of puCK. He got some
Yeah.
solid damage done there.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, denying the upgrade, a huge thing. Got a number of kills, stopped the turret from going down in the back. Another medevac will come in with just 2 Widow Mines this time. See if that will be picked up as quickly as puCK's attention is elsewhere right now. He does realize, will he get out of there on time? One shot goes off. Small army here by puCK, but it's a potent one. We've got a Colossus and 2 Immortals with it, although Immortals very near death.
Yeah, no, they have been great. As long as those shields are up, though, the Immortals will keep on fighting. True to their namesake. This is, I guess, when puCK wants to attack. He's moving across. He's got a second Colossus about to pop out back home. That'll eventually rally over. +1 is not quite finished yet. Neither is Blink. Maybe going a little bit prematurely here. Stim is almost done, though. As soon as that Stim finishes up, puCK's going to need to regroup and get a little bit more cover here for his Colossus.
Both Immortals do die here. He could Stim on top of this when it's done, but it's still 10 seconds away, and a lot of this would go down.
Ooh, a nice up throw for the run there. Yeah, he was about to go off on the Zealot and splash some of the Marines, but
yeah. In the meantime, there were kills on the other side on 7 probes there.
Oh wow, yeah. Okay. All right, now Blink and +1 are done. Now puCK has a really scary army here. Where's that second Colossus? Should be joining up very soon. It's coming. There he is. It's about halfway across the map now.
Yeah, SCV is trying to help. He does blink into the main there, and a big warping following as well, and this army completely out of position now. It's going to be hard to get a good attack angle here.
That was brilliant. Bring the Colossus up. Obviously, the Colossus can't go up this cliff. It is a double high cliff there. But using that warp prism to its full effect, he can even carry both these Colossus up once the main force is dead here. And there's the blink on to finish the rest of it off.
Oh, second Colossus does fall from like the little flank attack, which is just too much here now, I think, at this point. He is on top of production. These barracks are actually completely about to fall. If he gets one more shot on one of these, then it is gone. Only at 7 hit points, it will literally burn down right. Nope, repair. With like 3 hit points left, he repairs it back.
Man, crazy damage coming out. And puCK also has the third base finish behind this. MaSa's stuck on 2. So every good fight puCK takes is just going to put him further and further ahead now. And
he's gotta do something overwhelming here, but these blinks are not back to offensive. And Colossus still putting in a lot of work. 1 Widow Mine still active will get a lot of damage, but not quite enough. The Stim Marines coming in. Oh, that was pretty big.
He overstayed his welcome a little bit there.
Yeah, a little bit.
I was gonna say once that was all without Colossus range. Once Colossus range is finished up, he's gonna be able to do a lot more here. He really needs to get some zealots or something behind this. Oh no, he might lose it.
One does fall.
It's a little greedy,
fall, but a lot of Marines did die for it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know. Let's see. Worker counts a little bit in puCK's favor. Army supplies in MaSa's favor now, though. This is looking stupid for puCK. I don't know which way to call it, though.
Yeah, puCK's economy obviously stronger. MaSa is starting to mine out in his main base. He will float over to a third to take it, but that's been there for a while. Reaper coming back in to this third base of puCK to try and get some kills. Will do so, but he's still pretty healthy there.
That was the bravest Colossus I've ever seen. He was fighting like 15 or 10 or whatever Immortal or Marauders there. Holy jeez. That is a brave Colossus. That's going to make MaSa think twice about attacking into him, puCK, showing that he's got the micro, he's got the quick fingers tonight.
Yeah, it's true. He tried to come in with like a semi-large army at the bottom, but it got spotted by 2 probes, so puCK was certainly in position to deal with that. He tried to kind of split push to the top as well, but there's enough on both sides to deal with that. Army supply is now back a lot closer to even. Weirdly, MaSa is actually in the worker lead.
Soon he's going to be in the upgrade lead as well. He's got +2 on the way, just that +1 armor starting for the Protoss. So while we're on a 1-1 Terran army, Protoss is going to start falling behind with just one, I think just one Forge.
Going to come in for a Doom drop here now. There's only a few Stalkers on the other side, not going to be enough to pick off medevacs or anything. In really good positioning here. It's going to be hard for like Zealots to get at this.
Yeah, I was going to say the Stalkers might be able to outrange some of those units with the gateways in the way. In the end, the Colossus are able to come and shoo this all out of there, though.
Yeah, a lot of medevacs do fall in the entrance or the exit strategy there. Yeah, for sure. Pushing it. Again, 60 workers to 46 in MaSa's favor, which is certainly not where you thought you'd be from the start of this game and that Blink Stalker harassment. But
this turned around so quick. MaSa's now on 4 bases to the puCK's 3. How did this happen?
Is he going to be able to hold this? Half his army is up at the top as puCK's main army is moving into the natural. It's going to come down to the force fields here, I think, a little bit.
There are some forces at home to deal with that, but here's the big engagement on MaSa's side of things. Force fields do block out a lot of these units, allowing the Colossus to shell away from a distance, but the Stalker support is falling. 2 more sentries come in with another force field or so.
Yeah, MaSa actually realizing how big the threat is sending medevacs, now empty medevacs back home. So that's not particularly helpful. But yeah, two Colossus holding it down.
Oh, here come the boys. SCV's getting pulled to deal with this. Maybe, yeah, there might just barely be enough Terran here if you can keep a couple of stimmed units alive. And the Marauders are still very good units against all of this, against the Stalkers, the Colossus.
A single Viking out now, too, also puts some of these in threat. Like one more hit on that one damaged Colossus is certainly going to help out.
Finally, the worker count's evened up a little bit more, though.
Yeah, he had to pull a lot to be able to hold that. Basically emptied out that natural.
Yeah. Finally, a Templar Archive's on the way, too. A little bit late, in my opinion, against this much bio. I feel like Storm is a necessity almost at this point, especially with Vikings coming out now. He's really going to need it.
Both of them sitting on a lot of gas, but they haven't been able to use it. The natural is being poked out again here now. The Colossus going after stuff. Nice force field again, preventing him from jumping on. A lot more workers are going to die here.
I think he's done it. I think puCK is 3.
Yeah, on top of production, a Viking comes to try and save the day, does fall. Second one out, not being brave. And yeah, puCK took a bunch of pushes, but puCK does ultimately break through that.
Phenomenal micro in that game. puCK showing off his skills here, bringing us to game number 3. Oh, I am super excited for this one. This is our closest series, I think, in the Suupa tournament so far.
Yeah, exactly. If we
Except for that first one with Creature.
Creature took one game.
Talk about that all week.
In terms of like playing here, you could see that the skill levels are a lot closer here. Creature took that with like some cleverness and stuff, but this was just like straight up control, winning the game. He saw, and I think it's got to be this way on the high level, is you knew that MaSa had a disadvantage from you catching that proxy, and he leaned on it, knowing he was always going to have him behind. The Immortal drops did an amazing amount of damage. Him canceling that stim later on in the game, we were saying, hey, the stim is like 10 seconds away. Obviously, that would have been done a full minute before that. And he would have just rolled over what was there. But it wasn't. He just took advantage of exactly what he was, like he knew which leg he was kicking out, and he attacked on that side. So
I love that. Was some phenomenal Colossus play with the Warp Prism, and it's tricky with the Warp Prism, as you saw. You know, if everyone was paying attention, you can only fit one Colossus into that Warp Prism. So when you start getting to 2 or even 3 Colossus, it's a lot harder to micro him back the way he was doing anyway. Just bringing him straight into the fight, pulling him out real quick. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, absolutely the case. So we are 1-1 going into a third game. So do you think MaSa is going to proxy again? He got caught out this time.
Yeah, probably. I was going to say, no, it's ace match. You want to play a little more standard. And puCK has shown he can keep up in a standard game. For the most part, both of them kind of got set back a little bit at the beginning. So I'd call that an even start for the most part. Yeah, I think he's going to still do something cheesy.
Yeah. Will he be maybe a little bit less in your face with it?
Yeah, maybe just like a proxy Banshee or something. I don't know.
Yeah, so, something like he was with the first 2 proxies. He was like, I'm just going basically to your main base and building it on the cliff of it. and that maybe wasn't like I don't know if that's a normal positioning for puck, but you think it's at least in the ballpark. He built the first pylon like not right at his ramp, but it was pretty near his ramp that he could accidentally see that. So it can't be unprecedented that someone builds something there. But I don't know.
I don't want to play.
Yeah. Yeah, puck asking for MaSa to don't proxy, please. Don't proxy. MaSa leaving the game for some reason.
It was to stop the timer.
Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, because he wasn't in the right spot. All right, got people back
All right,
in
are we
now.
ready? Or we wait?
One sec. Puck is on Protoss. There we go. Puck was
Okay,
on.
good.
Puck was on Terran. Yeah, I think we're
No,
good.
I got
now.
made the party leader, and I'll roll with it here. All right.
What else? It's all
Go.
good.
Game number 3 coming up, ladies and gentlemen. One of these players is about to lose a life. Let's get some support and cheering in the chat. Let us know who you want to survive a little bit longer here. No one's going out just yet, though. Just a life. Just one.
No one quite yet.
All right, moving on to Port Alexander. Now, how do you feel about this map? We haven't talked
Can
about this
be
much.
neat. Yeah, we haven't really. Another one. So this one's pretty bad for Reapers. We got boxes in the way. We get a cliff in the way. You're not going to have really a proxy Reaper in the same spot. It's a little too limited. So I don't expect that out of MaSa here. Other than that, there's nothing particularly super weird about it. There's a couple good options for what your third's going to be. Yeah, beyond that, I think we're relatively normal.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Well, up here in the top left corner, scouting around for that proxy, he is our Orange Protoss, bringing us to this ace match. Let's hear it for puck.
And his opponent.
You guys got to leave the game because I think you guys don't have any of the guys in.
I thought is Terran not in?
Was he important to this?
Huh? Do we have Terra? What? So we're just double checking if you guys can actually see the game. I'm not sure. We've got a in-base barracks being built by MaSa, so trying to kind of like.
Can you guys remake it?
I think we're gonna have to remake, but we may have to resume. So we may have to resume. Yeah, to get them to PP so that we can stop right there. Yeah.
There you go.
All right. So, all right, we're going to jump out of this. We're going to have to resume because there's already been a commitment made.
Well, he said he scouted it or something.
Well, he already scouted the barracks and started to harass it and stuff. So we got to commit to that.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
But it's easy to
Well, you got kicked.
Yeah.
Terra kicked you.
Damn it. I'm foiled again. I'm glad that you were a referee that time.
Yeah. Do you want to host it or do you want me to?
Let's let Tara, do you want to do it? I can. Doesn't matter.
I can host it real
I
quick.
forget. It's been a while since I've resumed from replay. I don't know if I've resumed from replay since the whatever the arcade upgrade thing. Do you do it? You do it literally from a replay?
Oh wait, it's not letting me.
You do it as like watch with others, and then.
Oh, I need to be party leader to do it if Terra can't.
Yeah.
That's one. So if you want to make me party leader, there you go. All right, we'll get this.
I'm out of the party, so screw me.
Oh yeah, hold on. Yeah, let's get interested. Party. Where are you at? I don't see you. There we go. So we've got 5. MaSa. There we go.
Okay.
All right. Are we good? I think we're good.
I think so. Do it up.
All right. Watch with others. Here we go.
Good times. Good times. All right. Hopefully that didn't disrupt too much what they were doing.
Wait, is this right?
It's not. I forget now.
Because I think we're just watching it.
I literally forget how to do it now that they've changed the lobby system.
I don't think this
That's
is
what
right.
it's supposed to. It's supposed to be a replay, then watch with others. Starting the replay puts all the players in the lobby in sync. I don't know.
I guess let's try it.
Like again, I haven't done it since they changed, which is a long time. But since they changed the arcade, I don't know how you would do it.
Oh, we lost puck. Yeah, it doesn't.
Is anyone in chat now?
Yeah, you're supposed to right click and recover, but that's not an option for me.
Yeah. Does it have to be one of the players?
Maybe.
Yeah, sorry to jump in as this production. Let's set this up so we can remake the game and fix this all.
Do what now? Yeah, it may have to be one of the players that hosts. I don't really remember. It used to be that you could. Yeah, so puCK's going to try, and I think that's.
Oh, we lost MaSa again. Keeps leaving the party.
He does do that. All right, leave if you. Okay.
I wasn't in a lobby. I just left the party though. Going great. All right, we'll have this underway in just a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for bearing through our technical difficulties here. This is game number 3 coming up here in the Super Tournament of our first series tonight. Will hopefully be not too much longer. You got to re-invite me there, Tara, to the party.
So puCK is hosting one. I think this is how you do it, but I don't know. I think like it. I don't know.
Try to get this fixed down.
I'm trying to find literally Google like how you do it now, because it used to be that easy. Like it was just an option at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, it's just not. It wasn't there for me like it usually used to be. Oh, here we go. Recover game. Oh, I'm in.
So Tara's in some other lobby.
Yeah.
and WV Extreme is in a game. Tara's now offline. I don't know what's happening.
Tara's just logging in and logging out right now.
Yeah, you just gotta. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, we got me and you and the players. Yeah, so you have to be in your own, I think, not in a party to do it, and then you right click, and then I saw it recover game.
Okay.
I think just because we were in a party, it was.
So when puCK did it, was he in a party? Yeah. You gotta press more and recover game from in here. Can we just go? Well, I don't know. Who's host now? puCK is host. All right. Let's see if puCK did it or not. Okay, go then. We're either going to just watch the replay again, or it'll work. Let's see. Okay, we're gonna try and get in there.
No,
Try and
it
get
doesn't
in there.
have the same. It looks different than when I was doing it, so I think we're okay.
Okay.
We got it. We got it, ladies and gentlemen. We're going back in to Port Alexander for our ace match. Oh, I love those technical difficulties.
Okay, yeah, here we go. Recovering. I've always thought it's neat. Like the recovering really just plays the game at eight times speed again until you get to the point, because it doesn't remember what happened. It resimulates it. All right, and there's our chat from last time. All right. And I love that there's a countdown.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Does it itself.
Yeah. All right. So here we come in again. He is proxying, of course, in the bottom left-hand side of his face. That has been scouted early on by puCK. So this is kind of what we were talking about between games last time, that it's like the fake proxy. You act like the barracks is missing, but it's not missing.
Yeah.
There puCK goes with the pylon up front again. But there is, following the fake proxy, there's going to be a real proxy.
Oh, you think? You think he's going to do starport or something?
He's got an SCV hidden up on the top of the map.
Oh, good eye. I didn't even see that. Blends pretty well. The blue blends in the green a little there.
Yeah. So here, a Reaper and a Marine are going to go. Now, is he going to try and build something in eye line of this pylon, or is he going to wait? Because you could totally fake it out and make him think there's a factory home and it's not.
He could do both, I'd say. Okay, there he goes. Third supply depot.
Yeah, and he is, in fact, building a starport up top.
Okay, I knew it. I could feel it in my bones. Now, is it going to be for those proxy banshees, most likely?
Seems like a way to go.
I like see. You don't see it very often, but I have seen it every now and then. Proxy Vikings, and you go land the Viking in the mineral line. I think it's great.
Could definitely be a thing. Nobody expects it. They're pretty good. Like at this point, Vikings are pretty good against like a single stalker or something. Can kind of dominate. The Reaper held it home here by the Adept, but I think this is kind of going to work in MaSa's favor a bit, because what the Adept is doing on the low ground, and I've often like played into this from time to time, if you know that someone is like controlling your natural, you just let them, because it makes the fact that you're delaying your command center look right, but really you want it to anyway, because he's getting advanced and cloak and everything. Yeah.
So no more scouting for puCK on that side of the map. MaSa is going to be able to get that second base nicely, and there's the Cloak Banshee on the way. Against the Immortals, Cloak Banshee's pretty good.
It is, and there is a single stalker on the bottom of the map, or the bottom like left-hand side here, looking for something, but it's not going to be in position when that Banshee comes in.
Yeah, it looks like he's waiting for a drop almost, or a drop ship that would be coming.
Yeah.
In that direction. Yeah,
he did skip an observer here too, going for 2 Immortals into the Warp Prism. So when this Banshee comes in, one, there's not really any anti-air here anyway, and then that Cloak is going to follow it up pretty quickly.
Well, I mean, Cloak, he did come in before Cloak is finished, so the element of surprise for Cloak might not be relevant anymore. That observer getting Chrono boosted out, it should be here just about the same time Cloak is done.
Yeah, the shield battery there helping out immensely, as that is the first kill on the Banshee. Cloak about 10 seconds away.
Did you see that probe save? Yeah. Every probe matters.
So they're important. They're important. Cloak is now finished, and the Banshee will come back into the main.
But does he have enough of defense against 2 Banshees? He is going to drop the Immortals to start dealing with this to kind of shut down the Banshee Rats. But here we go, a couple more probes will go down in the natural. There we go, the Observer and the Stalkers with the 1 sentry. More than enough to shuttle that second one away.
Yeah, exactly. So this is not, it's denying a lot of mining time more than it's actually getting kills. Really only 3 kills picked up there, when a 4th coming in. The Banshee will try and go high side again, but again with the battery here, it's hard to do this. You kind of need both Banshees there at the same time, and he's not in a position to do that.
Oh man, 1 shot away from killing that Banshee down there outside the natural. But back in the main, there's another Banshee trying to hit the mineral line. Looks like he got 1 probe.
Now the Immortals have landed in the main of MaSa. The Cyclone will lock on, try and get away. He will pick up.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for that War Prism to pull off the same amount of micro we saw last game, just with that Cyclone out, like you said. That lock-on does so much damage now.
Yeah, really does. Going after a nice cannon shot or siege shot there, as he's got tanks on both sides. So gonna be hard to land the Immortals in the midst of that. The Banshee coming back down into the natural. This time may get finished off. Does kind of find a path. The Stalkers ultimately killing it.
Nicely done. All right, so the harass for now is finished, but as you can see, that proxy just moved positions a little bit. And now it's going to turn out a few more Banshees, try to keep that harass going. It's been okay so far. Keep puCK busy. Definitely going to force puCK to go for a much later game strategy here, I think. Two Mortals are going to drop back in and get a couple workers to get in. Nope.
Not doing any kills. They put some damage around by forcing him to have his own tank shoot his own workers, but that's about it. There is a third Banshee coming in, but just one kill, and it may get cleaned up straight up there. And it does indeed. The one Banshee with 4 kills did survive with literally 1 hit point left, and it's spilling over the right-hand side of the map.
That's what he's the smartest. I'm just going to go all the way over here and wait this one out. You guys got this. There we go. Third base is on the way for puCK, but we saw in game number 1, puCK was looking great when he had that third base up earlier. Or was it, I'm sorry, game number 2.
Yeah.
He was great with that third base up earlier, but MaSa was able to make a huge economic comeback. So we'll see if he can pull it off yet again. The Immortals going for the stim. That's going to slow him down once again.
Nice. Tries to repair that, but does not. And he tried to pull the 2 SCVs to save it. Does get away with his Immortals intact.
That's a long upgrade, killing that, especially when it was that close there. That's going to slow MaSa down a bit. It's going to give puCK just a little bit of breathing room, which is nice.
Yeah, Banshee snuck in again for 3 more probe kills, but gets picked off there as well. One injured now, repairing Banshee back at home.
Look at that production.
He's continuing to make them. Yeah, that's huge on the Terran side. He is continuing to just slowly make the Banshees. If they get a couple kills, I guess he's figuring that that's worth it, because they are kind of going in and getting lost as they do. But with the third base up here now, but before the shield battery, he'll get another couple. Maybe 3.
Slowing puCK down nicely. Look at that. Worker count is almost 18, 19, or 20 down now for puCK. So that's a big discrepancy.
It is. And I mean, he's spending resources to do this. He's straight up spending Banshees in order to get those kills, but it may still be a decent thing to do.
Yeah. As long as your own economy's not hurt too bad.
Yeah. Will be hard now as 3 shield batteries are up. It's going to be tougher to pick off any number of these. Another Cloak Banshee will come back into the natural. There's nothing there, but again, the batteries will not be able to transfer or save these transferring probes though.
Oh yeah, these Banshees have done decent amount so far, and there we go. Now all these upgrades starting to finish up for the Terran. Combat Shield done, 1-1 done, Stim very close to done here. And this is when it does start to get scary for puCK. What kind of AoE does puCK have? He just warped in 3 High Templar, but he's going straight for the Archons. Did he even get Storm? I don't know, he didn't. He's just...
Yeah, it doesn't look like it. He's not upgrading yet. His only upgrades are charged in Warp Gate, so no +1 there. Either of those working on Blink. Just +1/+1 finishing now.
Okay, he is a little bit better in that regard as far as the upgrades are concerned this time. Last time he was down a whole upgrade pretty much. It's going to be hard without Storm. This is a lot of Marauders going to be coming out. Oh, look at that. A lot of tanks even. It's a healthy looking Terran army.
Is indeed. There is a Immortals drop coming in here now, picking on the SCVs and the gas. Will get picked up and thrown away again, but 3 SCVs do die. 2 Banshees coming into the main here now in a position to be able to one-shot if they both fire simultaneously. Although, is that true? Is the armor applied there now? Oh, Amu,
They actually got him into a decent spot up against the army. They were almost both a little bit move commanding there. A few more zealots come in. Maybe it was intentional.
Yeah, on both parts, but I think that definitely worked out for puCK there a fair bit better as he will continue moving across the map. Untypical mistake here for MaSa, but a drop will come into the third base as puCK's moves towards the natural as well. There's not a lot back here, but there's some tanks.
Yeah, army supply is in puCK's advantage as he pushes into the natural. There's one tank on the high ground to defend. Everything else is just not here.
Zealots kind of get pulled away here towards the SCVs and will go down in safety. That may be easier to take this all out, as there looks to be enough to hold for MaSa here now, especially as the Banshees come in from the back. Some Immortals are going down, but this third base also getting cleaned up on puCK's side. puCK will bounce off to the third of MaSa. Is he going to go right for this CC?
He lost the War Prism though, so any Warpins, this is it. This is the standing army at 4 puCK. He's got to get a lot of damage done here to make it worthwhile, because I feel like this army's not going to get out of here alive, Undersword.
So many workers have gone down, but it's actually just equalized this. 41 workers, 41 SCVs. We're at 30 to 38. We'll try and recall out of here. The last couple of units do fall as the Zealots get cleaned up. But definitely a huge hit on both sides of things. But overall, puCK's economy looks a bit more distributed. He's got a 10 worker lead. He's still enough to come pretty close to fully saturated.
Yeah, that was an attack he needed, and he pulled it off quite well there.
Yeah, indeed. Good bounce down to that third. If he kept going in the natural, wouldn't have worked as well, but he moved down to the third, got good force fields off, which stopped MaSa from coming in too quickly, and that's where he got all the extra worker damage from. puCK, not content, is moving across the map again, as MaSa is also moving out.
Oh man, they pass each other. The Observer will catch this. The Talion Observer a little bit behind the army, actually in a beautiful spot to see that. Maybe puCK can get something ready. Maybe he's just going to push it again. I wonder how long on that ball he's got left.
These tanks are very, very exposed here now. There's nothing really to help them out. That's just a lot of free supply. As they didn't do much, the Baron army has to move back this time as he wasn't really in a good position. And it's looking pretty grim for MaSa.
It is indeed. That command center falls, and with that, the economy of MaSa is in shambles. Here, finally, the viable army has come back to try to deal with this with the Banshees, all that, but puCK is just hopping in top for nothing here.
Yeah, he's got to clean this up somehow really clean in order to ever come back from this, and it just doesn't look quite possible. Yeah, there's no observer with this. So the puCK Banshees, although one does run out of energy, there's recalling a fair bit back.
No, so we're at 23 more workers, though. That's big.
Yeah, 25 workers to 42, and the command center going down, such a big thing.
Almost got that armor, too. That would have been nice, but the SCVs get there in time. Nice repair.
Indeed they do, as the main base does float down towards the natural, but there's just not a lot of workers left here. MaSa running really low on all resources, and his econ just so low. Like, he's not even mining gas at this point. Barely. Like, now he transfers to it. Yeah.
Wow, what a scrappy game. These guys just duking it out here. Looking at the resources lost tab, it's definitely in puCK's favor here. About 4,000 more minerals lost for MaSa.
And these Banshee's still trying to like come across the map and get something or other done. He will kind of catch the army accidentally split there, but no real engagement happens. Banshee's looking for some angle, but I think they realize that they just plain have to go home. There's no room for this. He can't take more worker losses on his side.
Yeah, puCK's ready for another fight. He's got his War Prism reinforcement here, so he's going to be able to push into this third. And yeah, there's just no tanks here. There's not a lot of bio.
This command center is just straight up going to fall. Does go down.
Good for defense, but not for offense. He needs to be a little bit more offensive to break puCK here, but that's just so much growth cost.
Not going to do. He's going to try and bait him up here. Decent hits going off, but it's just not enough. Like, he needs to really kill this whole army clean, and I don't think it's going to really happen.
Well, and puCK doesn't even have to push in super aggressively at this point. He can just keep poking, warping in a few more Zealots, warping a few more Stalkers. Eventually, he'll just have way more than MaSa. But MaSa coming in actually in the natural of puCK with a counterattack of sorts. A couple of Banshees trying to get some more damage done. Get 2 probes, but Stalkers with the shield battery will be able to hold.
Yeah, if he knew there is, once again, no detection with this attacking army of puCK, would be an opportunity there. He's got an observer nearby, but not with the army. Does spot the drop moving out there. It's likely going to be prepared for that. Nice Widowmine hits from King. It's still just never going to be enough.
Oh, the sentries. 4 sentries. Those were some juicy shots. There we go, actually.
Okay, he's coming back. Okay,
don't throw this away.
The observer coming back in. Will be there now. Nice positioning here by MaSa, but it's still...
He's going to have enough to clean this army up, though. The Marauders against the Stalkers with just the 1 medevac will clean that up. The Archon will fall as well. Army supply still very even, though. You know, puCK should be able to get plenty back at home to contest with just the 28 worker economy of MaSa at this point.
Oh, yeah.
That was
Well, not only that, but 28 workers on 2 mineral patches because there's only 1 command set.
Yeah.
So that's the more the brutality of it. He's got to make an aggressive move here. There's no way that he can even make another command center, so it's got to be decisive right now. And it's hard to see that happening.
I think he realizes that he's brought everything, his last few SCVs here as well. The Widowmine's going to get a nice position here on the high ground. Are you just going for a base trade, I guess? What? Oh, yeah. Kill this army, though. Yeah, this should be his one concern, is killing this army. Get a few more warpins, deal with it. I guess he's really afraid of those Widowmines or something.
It's almost a bluff, I feel, on MaSa's part, to feel like this is half my army and there's more, but there isn't more.
You really want to
like this is all over, yeah. He will come in. Will he be able to take out both mining bases? Then we're in a different position.
This is just turned into a base trade, Endersword.
Yeah, but a pretty mediocre one. This is kind of cute. The disruptors coming out for puCK, which is a good way to deal with the widow mines that are left. But just looking at the army supply advantage, almost doesn't feel like how big the army advantage is. 54 to 41. But when you look at puCK's army, it's an army. When you look at MaSa's army, it's not. They'd have to eat a couple of them.
Yeah, there's a good amount. How many widow mines are still out? It's
we've got 10 of them. It's just we don't sit there and fire, you know. And it's not like they got the upgrade.
Oh, here we go. The widow mines. He's trying to bait the Protoss into his widow mines with all of his buildings here. The Zealots like they're about to eat widow mines.
Observers right with actually he does have this clause upgrade, but there's observers in it, and he realizes that now.
How many is that our only? Oh, okay, he's got 4 observers here, so that's very nice. He needs
still alive.
Yeah.
That's now both of them, there is a Nexus still alive for puCK on MaSa's old side of the map. The army supply now 41 to 72. Like puCK is actually still able to produce these gateways, so it's just a mineral income at the moment. But it exists.
And now the army supply, 72 to 41, very much so in puCK's favor.
MaSa did get an orbital back up, but there's nothing like mining from it. The SCVs are with the enemy.
He's only got 8 left anyway, so he's gonna maybe try to rely on meals. Here we go, he's just gonna go for it. Realize he has to make something big happen now. Nice splits up the Zealots. They're gonna soak up all those Widowmine shots with enough remaining to be able to push through here.
And that is just the puCK taking it.
Wow. Bringing down MaSa to 2 lives. Well done.
Wow.
And that was MaSa's pick.
Wow. That was...
He went at him, even though he went at him randomly by using a random jumper generator, he went at the Protoss and lost.
Boys, that was definitely a scrappy game. I don't know. I don't know what to say in this episode.
That was beautiful. It was awesome.
That was StarCraft. That was StarCraft. That was like StarCraft at its finest, in my opinion. You almost can't give just a linear. Okay, you did this well, and then this well, and then this well. It was just so back and forth. A lot of weird things. A lot of fun micro going on. Just well played by both players there. Absolutely. Did you guys like in that last game when when puCK lost his warp prism? Did you guys think that it was over for him? Like, what was
No.
kind of like?
No, he was in such a good spot that
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I think us in the production thought that he might be almost throwing it in some ways, because we feel like it should have been over like three matches ago.
There were points. There were points where he was maybe doing things that were unnecessary, like he was coughing up on his side of the map in ways that weren't necessary, but he was trading off still well for it. So he could have probably opted to defend instead of go and attack, but he was getting the 30 worker kills versus the 20 worker kills. So he was always coming out ahead on it. And his big key when he was going was actually getting CCs. If he had left the CCs alive and they were both trading off workers, then MaSa could crawl back in. But once you start to reduce 3 Cs to 1, then there's no way for MaSa to come back into it, no matter how cute he gets.
Yeah.